Hello and welcome to the first official and hopefully the first entertaining episode of the What About Cynics podcast. I'm here with my friend Aaron.
Yo.
I'm Harvey, also known as Billy Bob for some stupid reason.
Yeah, you should really change that.
I know. And what we're going to be discussing is Bioshock, the sexism of Bioshock.
The hard-hitting issues.
We're going to be complaining about JJ Abrams, Game of Thrones, and some consoles are dead stuff because people keep talking about that. Anyway, let's go. It's going to be fun. Probably.
So, Bioshock. It released today, so you can't say we're not topical, though this will probably be released in like a week.
It was released 2 days ago.
Was it shit?
Yeah.
Oh well.
That one right up.
No, today.
No, it's 24th.
Oh, fine. Whatever.
Anyway.
Okay. So, Bioshock Infinite. There's been some slight controversy that Elizabeth, the female character, has been largely left out of the kind of advertising campaign behind the game. And while we both think the game looks like it's going to be pretty good, then I don't know. I think it's kind of strange. I mean, there was that interview where he was like, "You can't show female characters kissing men."
Who,
of
Ken,
their own
Ken
volition."
Levine?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was strange.
What did he say? He said you can't show.
No, he didn't say it. He said he was told that he couldn't he couldn't show any female protagonist engaging, being the one to initiate romance with the male character.
What?
Yeah.
What's that? Well, in the game.
Yeah, and Remember Me, the guy got told a similar thing. That's why That's why I was trying to tell you it's such a big deal recently, because it's come out that the video game industry has these weird opinions towards seemingly women.
Oh, I didn't know there were rules within the game. I just thought it was some asshole who just just put the man on the front because people like that stuff.
No, it just seems to be a bit more intrinsic. Sorry, I probably described it wrong.
It's like Nathan Drake on the front of every Uncharted game. Elena Fisher's never been on it.
See, I don't even know who Lena Fisher is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit. But yeah, she's like a massive part of the game. But
yeah, it's really strange.
Probably a bit longer. And yet, Elena Fisher does not start any romance in that film, in that game.
Yeah,
always Nathan Drake.
It's weird, and I realized this, because I can't, because people like Bayonetta and there are these really sexified women. Sexified. That's a word. There are these women who are very sexy and they're very dominant and strong, but they never kiss people or they never have feelings. They're always. I mean, this is basically objectification taken to the emotional level.
That is weird. I mean, I would say so. I haven't read much about Remember Me. What even is it? Is it just? I know it's set in the future, and it looked a bit annoying. That's why I didn't.
You remember the Cloud Atlas ultra capitalist world? As far as I can tell, it's set there, and it's kind of it's all about. I might be wrong, but it's all about this guy. Yeah,
I know it's in France.
Woman, there you go. Neo Paris.
Paris.
And it's going to be woman protagonist kind of. Basically, as far as I can tell, then because the publisher wanted to change her with a man, so I assume it's pretty interchangeable. But she just seems to be a developed female character, and kind of she shoots, she's an action hero, etc. He apparently has romances and stuff, and the industry didn't like this, and he had to fight for it pretty hard. I mean, he might just be making himself out to be better than he is, but
maybe. And also, it doesn't look like is he getting a lot of money pumped into it? So.
Probably not, given the choice.
I wonder if it's harder to get this stuff by if you're getting a lot of money or no money. I wonder if it's harder for Ken Levine because he's got a bigger budget, but he's also got more, sort of presence.
Yeah, he's got people to answer to as well. I guess.
That's
I don't know. It's to be fair, it's really. It does it not strike you as weird?
I think it's very weird. I don't know why anyone gives a shit.
But why does just. The shot, because I mean, even with Bioshock Infinite, I don't know the guy's name. I know Elizabeth's name, but why does he standing there sell more than him and a woman? Surely women are, what we're theoretically what we're after. Why does it's so strange?
I know. Can they?
How does it actively detract from sales?
Maybe it just averts your. Maybe there's too much stuff on the box. Then again, come on, was the little sister on the front of the Bioshock poster? She fucking wasn't.
No, she wasn't. It was just the Big Daddy.
Was she too? You know, she a bit too sexy for the front.
Oh, see, this. I was thinking about this actually.
Yeah.
It goes deeper because I'm pretty sure the only games that have got women on the front are Japanese games, as far as I can remember. Because there's things like Final Fantasy,
Lara Croft,
Zero Dark Project. Well, yeah, she's from a bygone era.
They just had a random bloke on the front. It's like, this will sell more. Just put Nathan Drake on the front.
Or like her nerdy little like British friend, or the black guy. Just it was him instead.
What I liked is on the first Tomb Raider, like they showed her face. They just showed her face, and it's like, right, this is good. The second one is just a shot of her stomach and tits. So like, even they were like, look, we're just going after the sales.
Well, wasn't one of them like her short shorts? I swear one of them is just a picture of like her holding two guns like behind her short shorts. Like...
I think that might be. That sounds like a very sexy sort of Hitman. Sort of like cover, like Hitman's in a weird disguise, but
that would be good.
But you know, no, I think that might have been the second one, Underworld, because that one has the sexiest one that I would call. Although she does have mud on her tits, so I don't know if that's supposed to be sexy.
Yeah, that was. I remember watching my ex-girlfriend play one of them, and she there was a weird amount of kind of like mud and rain that got on, and like wetness that got on Lara Croft. Like there was impressive detail, I suppose, but you know it's for the wrong reason.
That's true. But it's like you can have that technology when like Uncharted, and you can say like, oh, when Nathan Drake goes into the water, it gets wet up to like the level it goes up to. But then it's like, well, when Tomb Raider does it, oh, look at her glimmering skin, not her wet jeans.
I wouldn't mind seeing Nathan Drake's wet t-shirt contest.
He's never been in shorts. You don't see many male protagonists in shorts.
True, I think it would actually maybe it would make sense. No, it probably makes sense that Lara Croft should wear some sort of Kevlar stuff for the amount of work she does.
Exactly. Like, I know that Nathan Drake probably wears jeans because they're durable and they don't graze yourself. Like Lara Croft must fucking cut her legs all the time.
Yeah, it does. Like, well, she just doesn't wear anything. It's like a tank top and a short pair of shorts.
I didn't even know she was.
Doesn't even wear good boots. No.
Exactly. I think she knows she's being watched. Then again, even Nathan Drake has one side of his. But then again, at least Nathan Drake in his games is out with women and he's trying to get laid as well. So at least when he looks good, it's like, yeah, he's just trying to kill two birds with one stone.
Very well. Lara Croft used to be kind of flirtatious, like in the olden games, but. Not really so much anymore. I think the Americans kind of can't write female characters ever since it was been taken over by Eidos or whoever it was.
Well, I think there was like a sort of, we can't make her flirtatious because it makes her weak. It's like, no, you can make her flirtatious, just don't make her get her fucking tits out whenever she meets someone.
This is the same thing again. She can't initiate romance. I think there's a thing behind this. I don't know.
It's weird. I mean, to be honest, I don't get it. I don't know why it would affect sales inside the game. Because most reviewers wouldn't complain about that. Because you'd look like a bit of an asshole to complain about that in the review. So the only time that would become present is if you bought the game. But, then again, I mean, our games. I mean, for the most part, our games even the place for fucking. I don't really want romances in my games at all because a lot of the time, game cutscenes where they're trying to build relationships are so badly done. I mean, if they're gonna do it well, that's fine. But for the most part, if I'm playing a fucking action game, I don't want any romance at all.
Fair enough.
So I'd rather it was banned on both fronts.
I quite like the whole romance subplots, but if nothing else, because they're interesting. You don't. I think it's got to the point where you don't even really see them in video games anymore.
That's true.
Kind of like seriously. I mean, there might be like the person he has to rescue, but.
Yeah, exactly. The last time I noticed it was when fucking Ezio tried to, suck on Catherine's massive tits. I liked
Sophia, or whatever she was called. Yeah.
She was not. She was just a nice person. She just turned up and she was like, "Hey, you want to go for a picnic?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." "Oh, you know how to read? That's good. You can read these books." Like, she was helpful.
Yeah.
He wasn't taking her out on like. I mean, the only time she was stuck in a car in the last level. And
he picked some flowers for her as well.
Yeah, he did. Oh, that was a pretty annoying mission, though.
But that was... Assassin's Creed does love okay. I mean, Desmond and Lucy had a thing.
That was
briefly.
Weird.
Yeah, but that's just because she looked horrible. That was just... And I don't mean that in like a shadow way. I mean as in the textures on her face were rough.
Well, it's sort of just... Their relationship was weird because most of their relationship is him sort of unconscious on his bed. in front of her.
I was about to make a terrible joke then, but yeah, no,
What
that
do
was
you
that's the way I like my relationship.
Because the thing is, she must be about as close to Desmond as like who was the guy that played the bloke? The guy I forget what his name is. I hate all the characters.
Sean or Rebecca.
I hate all of the characters in that other.
So I really like Sean. I think he's pretty funny.
He just seemed like what's the guy's name that does the voice of him? He did he started his own country.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway,
Did you know there's a Google search that Sean is played by Stephen Merchant, which proves that people really cannot distinguish British accents from one another.
Then again, I've heard people thought Steve Merchant was playing Will Mackenzie's character in The Office, so people don't know fucking shit about anything. But anyway, I didn't know about the into game stuff. I think that's weird. I mean, I think the box is weird, but I guess if it's a marketing thing. I think that kind of shows a failure of humankind.
Oh yeah,
than the developers.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with Remember Me, when he was told like to not have that it needs to be a male protagonist rather than a female one. I think that's where it gets slightly strange. Yeah,
exactly.
Because I mean, I've always been. I mean, I think about maybe half the games I play. If there's a create a character mode, I'll probably make it a female, and I don't know why, but I don't understand why playing as a female is so detrimental.
It's true. I really couldn't give a shit. I mean, like, I know a lot of people played the female Shepard in Mass Effect because she was just a better actress. Like, she was just she was just better at her job, which was why most people picked her. If I have a choice, I will either be if there's no customization, but you just pick a character. I'm usually just like the brunette male. I don't know why. I'll just pick him. And
that's what we project on.
If I have a character customization, I don't make a female as such as I just make sort of the biggest, fattest, weirdest coloured.
Yeah, I can vouch for this.
It will either be green, or failing that black. Those are the two colours I will pick for my characters.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's the thing. I mean, people and what. If they're claiming it's on like it's gay level to play a woman, then why? Surely the glistening brunette man that we play as all the time is no less gay.
That's kind of. I mean, I don't think the gay argument. That's one of
the arguments for the romance thing, like why you don't play as a woman, because obviously a woman romances a man in the game, and so.
Oh, but you're not like it's not press X to fuck. It's,
yeah, exactly.
Watch this happen.
What you're saying, being complicit in it is the worst bit.
But this whole, I guess this comes from people like just always saying, oh, you become the character. I have never become the character in a game. I've never thought I was Gordon Freeman. I never thought I was Master Chief. I never thought I was Nathan Drake, and I sure as hell never thought I was one of the characters from Skyrim. And I'm a female Khajiit, and when she gets married to a man, I don't feel like I'm being gay. I feel like I'm watching two very boring people get married from a first-person perspective, and it's really rubbish.
Yeah, that basically sums it up. I mean, I don't know. I like to think I get involved, but even then, I wouldn't. I'm not an orc warrior, so I can push it that I'm not an orc female warrior either.
Well, you would think you're an orc warrior until your mom's like, Aaron, it's tea time, and you'd be like.
Then I need to get out of being female as well. It's just another thing to, Maybe it's best that women aren't in video games.
Maybe.
No, if this is retarded. I'm kind of disappointed in the video game industry, actually.
I didn't know that was going on. I knew that there was obviously I
knew there was a lack of women, but I didn't realise it was a calculated lack of women.
That's weird.
Yeah. There's something worse when it's malicious.
It would be better if it was just an accident. Like, if people are being offensive, at least it's better if it's an accident. Like, I just wasn't paying attention.
But sorry about that, guys. We'll try harder. But it's like, nope, we've been preventing this.
That's odd. God, some of the most people that, and imagine because they must be married. So, or they must a lot of because I assume most publisher owners are male, which means that. So I don't. Why would you hate someone who you're married to so much? You must fundamentally hate them.
Sure. Well, either that or you just love money so much and you know what works. But if so, then why does it work so well? Why does the brunette 30-year-old protagonist work so well?
It's true. Because I mean, usually, if someone's trying to push that someone's a woman. Like they're trying to sell the game, saying, "Oh, we purposely made a woman to like sell." That's just as bad. But the fact that this is the complete opposite, like we couldn't be bothered to do that. Just fuck it. We're just getting rid of all women. That's odd. That makes no sense.
True. Like I said, I mean, I guess it's kind of worse because it's not even that. Because you've got things like Bayonetta and you've got characters like that, but they exist purely within the realms of sexual fantasy.
Exactly.
So it's like,
and this at least it's kind of funny, I guess. Like it's like tongue in cheek.
True. Well, I don't know. I've never played Bayonetta, but yeah, I know. It looks like Sarah Palin with guns for heels. So
basically.
If that's what gets people.
You kind of know that if she'd have got into the presidency, that's what she'd have put a lot of the budget into. Just ridiculous inventions.
I think gun heel technology would solve a lot of today's problems.
It would do. I mean, Christ, imagine her and like sort of going to like the sort of Israeli-Palestinian sort of peace talks, and just cracking them out and just taking over the entire Middle East.
Slams Benjamin Netanyahu's head on the table. You will tear down that wall.
I think it's basically the equivalent of sort of when Nixon gets that giant robot suit in Futurama.
would solve our problems much quicker.
Anyway, what else is there, Aaron? What else is there?
You've put shit that should end. So Assassin's Creed 4 is the logical, well, for you at least, is the logical conclusion. So why do you think it should end?
Well, actually, I don't like it because I'm sort of reading more about it and it sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does. There's the way the ship. They claim the ship is going to work in the sandbox mode. Sounds really cool.
I think the reason Assassin's Creed 4 might work is it's not Desmond, is it?
We don't know.
See, this is why. As long as I don't mind if like they start doing like different story arcs, but I do mind dragged out plots, which I think Assassin's Creed failed with massively. Like Assassin's Creed could have ended with Revelations.
What do you mean, in the Desmond story arc or in the...
Just in both. Like, it was a story that was going way too slowly, and it was clearly milking it. Whereas if they reboot the whole thing and give it like a sort of naval element, then that's actually an alright reboot.
I'm pretty sure I've read that they cut out the middleman in the present day now, and you are the ancestor you're the descendant that's playing directly as Edward Kenway. I've heard. I don't know how they plan to make that work, and I don't know how you then therefore plan to interact with Sean and Rebecca and all that.
Oh.
But that's what I've heard.
Okay. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, like I said, I've just been reading, scattered press releases. So.
Sure. I mean, it could be okay. I mean, but then again, I like kind of like new IPs. I think for some reason, once it gets to like sort of the fifth one, I start losing interest, especially when it starts coming out year after year.
But I think Assassin's Creed
it's a really cool idea, and that's the problem.
I also think that because I think the setting changes enough. I think that obviously this one's pretty similar to the Revolutionary War, but I think Pirates is a notable and cool enough divergence from the Revolutionary War to be acceptable.
Sure. It depends how Pirates are done. Like, if it's going to be... Because when I heard Pirates, I thought it was going to be like a swashbuckling adventure.
True. Well, I really think this might be everything that Sid Meier's Pirates wasn't. And if so, then I'm really looking forward to it.
The dream has finally been realised. Maybe like it will wake up and it turns out it wasn't in the Animus. It was just Sid Meier's dream, like in the early 90s, just going, oh...
I wish I wasn't going to spend the next 20 years making Civilization games.
And then I stopped even making them. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. The weird thing about Black Flags is that I don't get it. It's the first time I've ever seen this with console generations, but it's going on the PS3 and the PS4, which the one annoying thing must be changing all those posters, because you've got to add the new Xbox in on them all now because they haven't been announced. So you've got to change all that fucking advertising.
Sure.
But the one thing is that I don't get how the PS3 and the PS4 one is. It kind of makes it seem like the PS4 isn't that amazing. If you see what I mean.
You say that though, but up until maybe 3 years ago, then PS2 games were being released. There were games that were on the PS2 and the PS3. Like,
I can't think of any.
There were things like this is the only example I can think of, annoyingly, and you're going to judge me for this, is the Toy Story 3 video game. But there were others, because there was things like God of War, maybe the third one, the one that was on the PS3 and was on the PS2 as well.
No, it was only on the PS3.
Oh shit. Well, okay, there was.
Because it looked. I don't know.
Because they kept releasing. Because they only recently started releasing games on the PS2, so those games must have been coming out on the PS3 as well.
Maybe
I don't think it's that much of a concern.
I might be thinking about this the wrong way around. Like their PS3 games are being ported onto a PS4. I'm assuming their PS4 games are being ported onto a PS3 for some reason.
Oh, I see. True. Well, I don't really know how it's going to work. I'm assuming the PS4 has more potential at some level, but I'm not sure how great. But I think this probably leads quite nicely onto Our Console's Dead.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, because you said, I mean, well, Nvidia certainly thinks so. They say there's not enough gap between, or the PS3 isn't powerful enough to compete with even a low-level computer or something.
That's true. Well, I mean, the thing is that I guess the problem is that now it's sort of more comparable because now they're actually using PC parts and not like the cell broadband processor that they were doing earlier, where they were making their own. It was sort of magic, which no one really understood.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Oh, it might be better than a PS3,
but you'll never
than a PC."
know.
Exactly. But I mean, the thing about it is, Nvidia are they're like Crytek. They're just such a bitter little company that always complains that things aren't powerful enough. I don't like Nvidia, and also Nvidia lost all the contracts for their parts in all the next generation consoles. Yeah, so I don't know whether or not they're just all angry and they know their shitty little sort of portable thing is gonna fail. Which what the fuck is that? I don't get what that is.
I got no idea.
No one's internet is fast enough for that to stream games. If it works, that is amazing. That is cool. But you could do that on a PC. So what's the point? You could do it on a laptop. You could do it on anything. So I don't know why you'd spend like specifically 200 quid on a. I guess then they'd have exclusives because they got their own servers running and stuff. But what are Nvidia exclusives going to look like? Jesus.
Well, didn't Nvidia have exclusive rights to Alien versus Predator game or something? Because I remember it's where like. I swear everyone and like their mother has a copy of Alien vs Predator on Steam because of Nvidia. Just like and Dirt Free. I remember even I got a copy of Dirt Free because of that. But no, yeah, Nvidia. Well, Nvidia, as I've just proven, Nvidia exclusives aren't great. I don't know. I think there is something behind it. I mean, you can say that they're bitter, but I mean, I don't play my Xbox anymore. I mean,
well, the thing is, consoles work for the most part because I have actually been turned around on consoles when people describe this to me, but the thing I was missing was that they are just sort of nicely built PCs for you, and they are cheaper than pre-built PCs.
But are they? I mean, how much is the PS4 going to sell at? It's going to be like £600, isn't it, or something?
No, it's going to be like 350, maybe.
No, is it only? This proves how out of the console game I am. Fair enough. Well,
I mean, consoles have actually been getting cheaper if you put inflation in. I was reading this somewhere. Apparently, the PS1 is like £1,000 now or something. But
fucking hell.
Consoles have always been like sort of around £400, £250, which for like a pre-built PC, which is going to last you about 7 years, because console cycles are lasting ages now. Then yeah, I'd have thought that would be fine. I mean, I know that PCs are better in every respect if you can build them, but most people don't know how to build PCs. And so until you get that, I guess you just got to have a nice sort of little self-packaged product.
I guess, but I don't know, because okay, say my PC. I think my PC is still worth about £550, maybe.
Yeah.
600. It's not expensive. It's a medium. It's not setting the world on fire. But I think even that will probably be more powerful than the PS4 when it comes out, or as powerful.
But the PS4 doesn't have to run all the operating system and all that bullshit. So the PS4, even PS3 games now look amazing. Like Uncharted 3 looks better than a lot of PC games I've seen. Uncharted 3 might be one of the best looking games I've ever seen, and that's on a 2006 console. So it depends. Like as long as you put enough backing behind it, because it's only for the games. Usually it actually looks a lot better. And also because really the problem with the old consoles was not really the graphics, it was the RAM, which now that they've knocked the RAM up to about 8 gigs, it actually should be okay when all the processors are faster and everything. So I'd have thought they'll stand out for a little bit because I'm not going to upgrade my PC for ages, so I'm not going to really notice much of a difference.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might upgrade my PC soon, but that's irrespective.
Exactly. No, I would say they're easy.
I don't know.
Also, the exclusives as well. For general games, I'll always get a PC game, but exclusives like Sony right now are getting loads of exclusives, which is why I still buy Sony consoles, because Sony exclusives are really good a lot of the time. So I can buy £350 console and get like 20 very good games, which I wouldn't be able to get anywhere else, which I'd say is worth it.
But
the 360 hasn't really been
that's
getting many
implying that the
exclusives
consoles
recently.
are still around, which obviously, if this is the last generation of consoles,
Yeah.
which has been stated it might be. I mean,
Really?
I don't buy it. Yeah, people are
I imagine that's probably true, because I think as soon as you get game streaming, kind of buying a console stops making any sense.
Well, indeed, and also, you know, there's the. I mean, if the gulf, I mean, the gulf between PC technology and console technology increased within this generation alone. Imagine how big it's going to be by the end of
It'll be ridiculous.
Current generation. So I think, yeah. And if it is, then those exclusives must go somewhere, surely. Unless they're so ardent they want to publish on the PlayStation system, they're gonna stop making games if it goes. So I guess the exclusive argument will hopefully dry out. But no, I understand what you mean. Though I still don't know.
I'm more worried about sort of whether I'm not really worried about the consoles. I'm more worried about like the exclusive companies, like Naughty Dog. I would worry about Naughty Dog at the end of this generation. Not really consoles as such, because I don't really care about the console. As soon as the console dies, I get all the companies that were making good exclusive games available to me anyway. So I think as long as you got a PC, you're always safe.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
And
I think consoles are still relevant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I think they will be for a while. I mean, as long as the kind of COD casual machine keeps rumbling on, then. But yeah, I agree Xbox isn't going out of style anytime soon.
But I agree that consoles are fragile, and they won't last long.
Indeed.
If they start losing their exclusives, then they become pretty pointless.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more like I said. I think you're right. I think you should be more mystic. Like with the PS2, you were like, "Whoa, this would never happen on a PC." But as it's got closer, as they've tried to be more like PCs to be more powerful, then it's become how they are just woefully inadequate PCs.
Exactly.
It's their own downfall, really.
But I guess they have to keep be that, because they've got to become competitive, because games are getting more expensive to make. Which
it's doomed if you died, doomed if you do, doomed if you don't.
I haven't really understood why they're becoming more expensive to make, because surely you're using technology that is as hard to obtain as it was.
Now you can. Because now you've got to do things like music and voice actors and the graphic, and you know the quality of graphics you need are a lot more expensive, etc. Because like say Hotline Miami was using those graphics, and that you could employ a studio even back then of just 2 people to make that game, like even in the 90s. But now you need you need 5 people to do like the guy's eyelashes or whatever. So
sure, actually that does make sense.
It gets kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's like Assassin's Creed 4. Like 7 studios are working on Assassin's Creed 4 to get out in a year.
That sounds messy.
Apparently they've each got a section, and like one of the guys doing the naval combat are the guys who did the naval combat for Assassin's Creed 3, and the same with the people doing the map exploration systems. So if they get it done, if they manage to produce a full actual numeral Assassin's Creed game in a year, and I'm going to be really impressed.
Well, I mean, then again, Revelations, I was about to complain about that. I mean, Revelations had 7 studios working on it, and that was...
Did it?
Pretty messy, yeah. If you look at the end, it has it lists every studio it was making, and it just looks like a fucking rushed mess. I'm not worried that all the bits won't be work. I'm just worried that the pacing will be off, and it won't really... Because the plot of Assassin's Revelation really didn't gel well.
No,
it felt like just loads of little games.
Well, you still need to play 3, because I think that will win you round to the 7 studio method.
I'm gonna play 3.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, indeed, that's the.
But what else were we gonna talk? There was something.
We're still on the first point, so we're making very. Actually, no, because technically we did consoles are dead, so we've done point 4 as well. So, yeah. Good work.
You agree? We both agree they're going to win this generation.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'd probably bet money on it.
But you know what we'll both also agree on is that Nvidia are little babies, and I hope their thing fails horribly.
Well, I got AMD. I don't know about you.
I got AMD. AMD's fucking amazing. They're really cheap. I don't know who would buy Nvidia, but and then now even AMD have got Nvidia used to have PhysX, but now AMD were like, no, we've got TresFX. So now you've got hair. You can have some hair physics, even though on Tomb Raider apparently if you turn that on, the frame rate just quarters. It uses up so much processing power.
Or just on her hair.
Yeah, just the hair, and it doesn't even look that good. It sort of looks like someone's underwater, and like it's like it animated just about 4 strands. It looks weird.
I kind of want to see that though. That sounds interesting.
Watch a YouTube video. I'm sure we'll post a link to it or something because it'll look weird.
Excellent.
But then there was something else. But also Piston, which that.
Oh yeah, sure. Piston. Okay, yeah, we can blast through Piston. Like, so once it basically just seems like another console, except less, even less pretending to be anything other than an underpowered PC. Which is, I mean, the only thing they've got going for them is that you can pretend they're not PCs. But
that can't be more powerful than a PS4, can it? Like, and it costs $1,000. I know it's got it's got Linux, and you can sort of fuddle about with it. But the thing I don't get about it is that it's $1,000. So the standard model's $1,000. So it's not powerful enough for someone that wanted a console to buy it. No, it's not like cheap enough and it's not cheap enough for somebody who knew how to do PCs would buy it. And it's also too complicated that someone who didn't want a PC would buy it.
So they did not do the marketing on this.
It sort of separates both of its markets. I don't get who would want it. It'd have to be somebody who's retarded but also wanted a PC.
Like the libertarians of the console world.
Yeah,
I've been looking at this, and I've been looking at the Steam box as well, and I think the Steam box.
I thought they were the same thing.
No, they're not. We've been through this. The Piston was supported by Valve to begin with, but they didn't. They disagreed.
Oh, okay.
The Piston is not going to be the Steam box or whatever it's going to be called in the end.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. Because I thought Steam was being a bit retarded.
No, because I think Steam wants to try and address the problem you just raised in as much as they can, because the concept is still fundamentally flawed in my mind. I still don't see the point in the Steam box. Like, I understand that Valve wants a degree of autonomy, but they might as well just start making their own versions of Alienware. I mean, I'd be more likely to buy that than the Steam box.
Well, they just want the PC in the living room, which, fine.
Yeah.
Put a PC in the living room.
People don't need a small PC to make things better.
I don't need your PC. I'll just get one and put it in the living room. Like, I don't think Steam is going to make a competitively cheap PC to put in the living room. I don't think they should get into it. I don't understand. But then again, they have loads of money, so why not?
Well,
I'd rather they just made games.
Well, indeed, and a fine distribution system. That's all I want from Valve, really.
So, have we seen the Steam box? I do not know what it's like.
No, I'm pretty sure it's still under wraps.
Okay.
Though, some of the guys who were working on it got fired the other day. So
that's good. Well, that is never getting finished.
especially as we know how Valve works.
Why are people getting fired at Valve?
It's not because of economic reasons, apparently, because they've just posted their biggest ever profits, so it must just be a lack of interest.
Fair enough. I mean,
which is kind of sad, I guess.
Yeah. I like the way that they do still hire people, and they say that some people just can't get to grips with the no boss system, which is you kind of see how dictatorships start when people are given a greatest job ever and they get confused.
Yeah.
Like, this is too nice.
You suddenly understand why Idi Amin was like, I gotta bus everyone around.
Exactly, because everyone's like, I don't know what to do. Should I work on Half-Life 3?
Or should I play Pandemic 2 for another 7 hours?
Exactly. And Gabe walked in and said, you don't have a boss, but this is a job still. Go and do something.
Oh, I don't think I could take threats from Gabe, though. I think I'd just laugh at him.
I think he'd be very nice.
Yeah,
he'd fire you. I bet he'd fire you and you wouldn't know you'd been fired. He's that kind of nice.
Yeah, the guys from the Steambox actually got fired months ago, but they only just cottoned on. They're like, oh, shit. He was serious.
They were just sitting in the office.
I knew I shouldn't have poked his belly when he fired me.
And they were just sitting in the office, and Gabe walked in because they'd locked it all up because they were like, right, we just won't do the Steambox, so that office will get closed for a bit, and they were just still turning up to work, just sitting around playing Pandemic 2.
Waiting to get paid.
Oh Jesus! But that's 2 products really that we don't understand.
I think we can close the chapter on video games for the week.
There we go.
So, onto films. That lovely domain that we exist in. We got JJ Abrams.
JJ Abrams.
Up to you.
Yeah, let's talk about JJ first.
Okay, so JJ Abrams, as we're all painfully aware, is still in charge of both the Star Wars and Star Trek franchises, and has
Yep.
recently said that he prefers Star Wars to Star Trek, at the same time of which he's releasing his second Star Trek movie.
Good for him.
Thank you for that, Mr. Abrams.
Good for him. Because I believe he's got the what fills me with loads of hope for the new Star Trek movie is I believe it's being written by his co-disappointer. It's the guy that wrote Lost with him, and I love the Lost finale. It's Damon Lindelof. So I just thank God that JJ, who I hate, is bringing in all the other writers that I hate to just to sort of make
nice.
Yeah, I think I hate JJ Abrams, and I think it's just because of Lost. I don't know really why.
I thought you liked Lost.
That final episode.
Oh, I see.
And that last season is unacceptable.
We'll get into Lost. We'll get into Lost later. It's okay. We don't like Abrams.
It would be a thing that I'd have to use 6 days of like source material to demonstrate why there's a problem. It would take so long. But yeah, I mean, we always complain about the same thing with JJ Abrams films, and that they seem like he's just trying to be a Spielberg, and they're all the same. He has a style, and it's not a very interesting style. It's a very kind of, ooh, look at this, sort of dancing around with like minor character details that make you think it's being more complex than it is.
Yeah, he just seems to be able to churn out kind of safe movies that will succeed.
Safe.
And like he's almost like a Michael, like I'm gonna say this, a Michael Bay in a way, because he can homogenize a franchise. So like with Star Trek, we saw what he did to Star Trek 1, and I mean, you can say what you want about Benedict Cumberbatch, looks like an alright villain, but Star Trek 2 looks just as homogenized, just as kind of, and just as not Star Trek.
There's been too much jumping off cliffs.
Yeah. like and then if you look at the first trailer, it's like sports car explosion.
The sports car thing was, I don't know who the fuck put that in.
That was Michael Bay.
That sports car is 120 years old.
Shit.
Doesn't make any sense. Like it's set in like 2000. Yeah. What? 100? It's the future, so we take old sports cars and put a fucking like wireless phone in them. Oh, also, yeah, it's the future.
Like, apparently the spaceship is being built in Idaho, when, as we all know, all spaceships in the Star Trek universe are built on Mars.
Exactly. So, and you know what doesn't make any sense? It's a starship. It can't withstand gravity.
Yeah.
Why is it being built on a planet?
That's why exactly. That's why you built them on Mars, because there's lower gravity. You get them off of the planet. That thing is never leaving the atmosphere. You've just built an incredibly expensive museum to how much of a retard you are.
What basically happened was, in the trailer to Star Trek Into Darkness, it shows the Enterprise crashing into the ocean in London. The ocean, just into the river, and basically that's what would have happened if the Enterprise had tried to take off. I bet that is the Enterprise taking off from the first Star Trek and just plummeting immediately into the ground.
The first film was actually entirely Kirk's dream about what would happen if they could ever get the Enterprise off the Earth.
Oh God, but Benedict Cumberbatch, I have a feeling. I mean,
I like him.
He's great, but it seems like every film franchise, and even James Bond, people just keep wanting to fucking Dark Knight Rises up. No, Dark Knight. Everyone's trying to do the Dark Knight, and I think Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be another case of, he's a crazy villain, and he's got a really deep motive, but I bet it won't be deep. I bet, unlike the Dark Knight, he will just be walking around, just saying sort of half profound things. Whereas, like, the Joker had an MO. I don't think that Benedict Cumberbatch is going to have a MO. I believe he's just going to be a homogenized, boring villain.
I agree. He's going to be another one of the kind of Sylvia from Skyfall kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, Sylvia was cool, but he was I'm crazy.
He'll do that thing where he's like, he'll probably, I bet there'll probably be a line where he like tries to appeal to Kirk, and it's like, yeah, we're one and the same or whatever, or, you need me, yeah.
Exactly. We already had that with bold Tom Hardy, and I don't need to see it again. We're the same because we're bold. I love that bold, like...
that's what equates it.
Exactly. But I don't know, like...
Yeah. I'm really worried that he's going to do something similar to Star Wars. Like, because It'd be almost more acceptable with Star Wars because Star Wars was never as deep or as kind of a scientifically grounded universe as Star Trek.
It's true, like Star Trek was always like, here's my stories. It was like Twilight Zone with sci-fi ideas, but yeah, like,
I mean, even
Star Trek is just good versus evil.
As Red Letter Media guy Harry Plinkett said, then JJ Abrams probably should have directed the prequel series as opposed to George Lucas.
Yeah,
but even then, I guess if he hadn't directed Star Trek, I'd probably be absolutely fine with JJ Abrams directing Star Wars.
exactly.
It's just the fact he's got both of them. It seems a bit greedy.
Yeah, because I agree, like Star Trek is where sort of generic stuff thrives. Because as long as everything looks kind of cool, it's...
Well, what is Star Trek other than a combination, Star Wars other than a combination of like these samurai films and westerns? Like you can just put every trope you want in that universe.
Exactly.
It'll be fine. But Star Trek is about a very specific subsection of like socialism in space. It's basically like an Isaac Asimov novel, and he turned that into, oh god, the planet's exploding.
Really? It's red stuff. Does it make you go back in time, or does it fucking explode stuff?
We're gonna name him after your dad.
Let's name it after yours. Isn't that that's Chris Hemsworth, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the Hemsworths.
But the thing is, like, I always thought Vulcan would get sent back in time, wouldn't it?
Oh, what if that happened to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't care about physics.
No one cares about anything.
That's the thing. This is just this is just designed for a group of people who don't want to think about a film.
Exactly. Which is fine, but it needs to be in the right place.
Well, it needs to be the right franchise.
If a film presents itself as being clever, then it can't make mistakes like that, because then it just becomes, oh, you're just doing stuff. Because I lose interest.
Exactly.
And although explosions are nice, you can see explosions anywhere. Anyone could just have a fucking computer that could just make an explosion, and it would look great, and put in an orchestra in the back.
Exactly. I mean, it's like in the fight, like in Star Trek normally, if there was a fight, they were visually not that interesting because it was just people firing, but I think there's a hell of a lot of more emotion behind some of the Borg fights than there was behind the entire like sequence in the Star Trek film. Because I didn't care what the fuck happened to Chris Pine and fucking Simon Pegg, Zachary Quinto.
Why Simon Pegg is in that film?
Why is the Star Trek engine room literally like an engine room with like pumping shit? Like the fucking Enterprise doesn't run on petrol.
JJ Abrams seems to just, as long as you put in a certain nicely coloured liquid, it will remove all doubts. Like red liquid does bad things, blue liquid does good things. And the thing is, me and my friend Jake were talking about this like earlier. It's like it was like the colour. He was talking about like the colour coding in sort of science fiction, and like in X-Men, you put in the green liquid into Cerebro and it's bad. It gets rid of the blue liquid. And like it's just colour coding of good and bad. And JJ Abrams just does that.
Yeah, it's pretty silly.
I bet like fucking during a fight, Chris Pine's gonna cut open Benedict Cumberbatch and his blood will be black. But like, oh, he's the bad guy. I mean, the fact they had to put him in a big leather jacket.
Yeah.
Like he just doesn't look like a regular guy. He looks too evil.
True. And I swear, I mean, there's just like you could in Star Trek. I think everything existed for a reason. Like there was never nothing, and there was nothing in there because it looked cool. Like
well, they couldn't really afford it.
Yeah. Like, when they're in the elevator and stuff, it moved slowly because that's how it would work.
Yeah, it's a massive ship.
Yeah, exactly. But in this one, just running around, fighting all over the place. And everything looks so clean and white. Like
it's a little too good. There's got to be, even the engine rooms were lovely. Come on, you get some grease on it or something. There's got to be like one fat guy just sort of in the corner, just eating lunch.
And I mean, the other thing that really annoyed me actually was the Bones, because I really liked Dr. McCoy in the original series, and
I don't know, Urban.
Yeah, I don't know why he was replaced by Uhura in the new. I know why, because they needed a woman, and that's fine. We were just describing in the video game industry how there's not enough women. But I mean, the core three of them was McCoy, Kirk, and Spock. That was. They had all the conversations and stuff.
Which I mean, like Uhura isn't like she's not interesting. She's just kind of the only thing you learn about her is that she likes Spock.
Yeah, and Kirk just to make things interesting.
Exactly. Not like you're not like Spock is that complex. It just he keeps saying it is rational every 5 fucking minutes to be like, yeah, JJ, we know you can't write clever people. Clever and rational people don't just say it is logical all the time. It's not that interesting. But everything, why Spock has to be wearing like a fucking beret, saying it's logical. Benedict Cumberbatch's got to be like throwing around red liquid with a black leather jacket on. Everyone's got to look like they're in a fucking pantomime.
You just need to know from simple visual cues what they are and what they do.
You can watch Star Trek on mute, and you will know what happened and who was bad. Because like, look at fucking Bruce. Isn't it Eric Banner in the first one? Oh, he's got a weird head.
Oh yeah.
And he's all angry.
It's like, oh, Kirk's grimacing, and then he's looking at a woman flirtatiously. You now know every characteristic he possesses.
Oh well, but yeah, no, I agree. Like JJ Abrams just isn't that interesting.
No.
And
though apparently he's going to have Lando Calrissian, Princess Leia, Han Solo, and Luke Skywalker to work with. So
the only one of them I would want back is Mark Hamill, because Mark Hamill looks like an older Luke, whereas Lando Calrissian is just all fat now. Carrie Fisher's just some fucking fat alcoholic. And Harrison Ford, whenever he seems to act in films, it just seems really high all the time. So I think Luke's the only one that's aged well. I don't want any of the others back. It's just sort of depressing.
Sure. Well, I guess if he could really play on that, like how much they've kind of corrupted and decayed, that could be pretty funny. I know. I think Han Solo could have like one last epic kind of showdown, because Harrison Ford still looks kind of like a old Indiana Jones, and you can easily supplant that into an old Han Solo.
That's true. I think Harrison will be able to pull it off. Although I would like the idea that him and like Leia sort of just became really depressed with each other, and they just got drunk every night. And they're sort of this old bickering couple.
The romance was never the same after the destruction of the Galactic Empire.
Exactly. And one night, sort of Lando came.
Also, what have they been doing for the past 30 years?
He fucked Leia, and Han Solo watched, and he felt weird because he got turned on by it. But
like seriously, because you can't set it immediately after the Empire's fall, so they're gonna have to that yellow scrolling text is gonna have to be hella long to explain everything that's happened in the past 30 years since the Empire fell apart.
It's JJ Abrams, so be like, the good guys did a good job, and everyone was happy. But there's some bad men who did bad things.
There was no geopolitical collapse of the entire structure of the galaxy, and it was great.
Be like, someone's trying to re-establish the Empire. Why? Everything they own is broken. Nothing. They have nothing now.
Well, this is the thing. I was like, I told you I was looking on like the internet, and people were legitimately angry that they weren't using like the book scripts.
We've told.
Yeah, we talked about this. But yeah, I despair at how much people are willing to stick to a canon sometimes. Because I take canon seriously, but I don't take the Star Wars after film books seriously. It's like I don't take the Star Trek books seriously.
Take it seriously within the context of the initial sort of place. I don't agree with them.
No,
I mean sort of extra universe stuff, unless it's interesting. But other than that,
well, I think like I said last time, the idea was that these things would never be used or visited again, so it was fine. But now that they are, then you've got to let them you've got to make the movies their own.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to watch the Admiral Thrawn saga because only me and like 7 other people know what that is, and there's a good reason. It's because it's terrible.
And apparently everyone wants to watch the Yoda saga and the Boba Fett saga. So
I can't wait for the Boba Fett saga. I can't. His 7 words are going to be great. Words.
I bet he's not even Australian. That'll be a fucking pissed take.
What a shame.
Exactly. Well.
Anyway,
I think we need an Australian hero, because even Hugh Jackman's putting on an accent most of the time.
Well, he plays Wolverine, who's a Canadian, so it's close enough, right? It's all Dominion.
There we go. It's all American sounding. But so I think that's basically, except for Game of Thrones season 3.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about Marvel in the end. Oh, we still need to talk about Marvel as well.
Iron Man 3 will probably be good, but it seems to be Dark Knighting it.
Does it?
It's like doing, he's a broken hero. He's going to be broken down.
I don't know. Well, Tony Stark is a fundamentally broken man most of the time.
Yeah, well, I mean
which is weird, because he has everything going great.
I can't get excited about Iron Man, because Iron Man, there's only been 2 films, and I thought Iron Man 2 was shit.
With Sam Rockwell and Mickey Rourke.
Yeah. Mickey Rourke I liked, but he wasn't in it enough, and then it sort of became just Sam Rockwell dancing around a lot. and just a lot of convoluted people just doing nothing really. I don't know.
I think at that point I was really happy that the Avengers might possibly being made, and I think that's why I'm willing to overlook the flaws of Thor and Iron Man 2 and Captain America. But now Iron Man has to exist in a world where I'm not looking forward to the Avengers.
Exactly.
I don't know how it's gonna do.
Well, I'm gonna go watch the Avengers and Iron Man 3 duo.
Oh.
At midnight. On the 24th of April.
Why do you get so much cool stuff? My cinemas never do these kind of things.
Because your cinema sucks.
Yeah. Why is Bristol such a cultural backwater?
Exactly. Why is Birmingham such a hot pot of
hot piece of cinema?
I think it's because we have an IMAX. That's all it is. As soon as you have an IMAX, we become a cultural beacon.
Just as a thing, so no one ever wants to go to Bristol, we turned our IMAX into an aquarium. Yeah.
In the old days, it was if you had a market, and now it's if you have an IMAX.
Ponder that one over. Like, oh, we don't want this amazing technology. Actually, no, because the IMAX still does exist. That's the worst thing. The IMAX technology is still in there. They use it to show fish films.
I would rather look at fish on film.
Yeah, I would rather burn the IMAX down and have it used for that. I'm not saying something. But that's enough of that. Game of Thrones Season 3, cheerier subject. So, once again, everyone's favourite brutal political drama / fantasies / isn't really fantasy yet because nothing's happened, is coming back, employing half of Britain. So...
Are you...
I've read the books.
I bet it's quite good now, because when people were killed on soaps about 5 years ago, they were worried because they might not get work. Now, it's fine. You're going to be in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, you will. I mean, even Lily Allen's brother is getting work. So
was this the one who had the song sung about him?
Yeah, Alfie. This is Alfie.
Damn, Alfie. That's good.
He is Theon Greyjoy. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty big. To be fair, it's a pretty big role. I'd say he's probably almost as famous as Lily Allen is currently. So
I would agree.
So you know, what Alfie sitting in his room all day getting high. Look where he's got to.
Exactly. he's
done better than you, bitch.
Exactly. But the yeah, I mean, I haven't read the books. I don't really know why. They just seem long. But you said I don't want it ruined for me. If I'm gonna watch one, I'm just gonna watch one thing. Because I don't know if it ruins it for you, but I'd rather just watch the TV show.
Well, I wouldn't say ruin, but yeah, you obviously by reading them, you know what's gonna happen next.
But then it gives you more depth, so I don't.
Well, say what you think, because you said you're not looking forward to this season as much. So
I'm not looking forward to it solely because of season 2, but you said it would get better.
Yeah, I think season 2.
I'm not going to not watch it, obviously.
I think season 2 was probably the lowest Game of Thrones is going to get, and I will go on record with that kind of thing.
But that was only because it wasn't really going anywhere. It was still fun, like it was still really well written and stuff. So.
Well, I didn't think they had enough time. Like I said, I think they had to rush through quite a lot of it, but. Yeah, I suppose if you didn't think it was going anywhere, then those are two contradicting points, because yours implies they didn't have enough to do.
From what you said, they missed out a lot. I was like, well, they could have put that in, because they weren't doing anything else.
Yeah, well, I guess they kind of didn't quite get right what to put in, which is strange. I think, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, and it's annoying, but I think people need to give season 3 a chance, because I think season 3 will legitimately blow people's minds at points.
Okay.
And I think it'll, if it ends how I think it's going to end, then it'll have people waiting for the next year for season 4. Because I know some people have been waiting this year for season 3.
Yeah.
But not as many. But I think it'll really capture people. And because I don't know, you've seen the breadth, you've seen how many characters they're bringing in. There's a lot more new people this time.
Yeah.
Because I think it's. Yeah, I mean, really, the only new person in season 2 was kind of like the Stannis crew, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, kind of.
I think.
I was getting bored of the amount of characters. I mean, I'm worried that there might be too many characters.
Oh yeah, well, so's HBO. Trust me, HBO are really worried there's too many characters. Like they've been publishing viewer guides and stuff for ages now.
Oh, okay.
Which is sad. I think it's insulting. I don't know. I think most people can deal with characters. I mean, I never found the amount of characters in Game of Thrones season 1 or 2 abusive or intrusive.
I wouldn't get that confused. I'm more worried about that they'll be less developed, not that there's too many. You got to remember names. You're not retarded.
Very well. I mean, this Storm of Swords is 100 pages shorter than the first book, and it has twice as many episodes dedicated to it. So
Oh, they're going for 20 episodes now.
By that logic, yeah. No, it has. Season 4 will be.
Oh, you mean it's 10 episodes for 2 seasons? Okay, yeah.
2 seasons, 1 book. So, in that, I think there'll be enough development at this point, and I think that will really help.
They'll probably do a lot of stuff from season 2 anyway.
Yeah, because one of the strength, they're adding a bit. Because one of the strengths of Game of Thrones is like one of the reasons I think season 2 lacks is because they didn't really get time to develop characters like Stannis. I mean, I don't think your average Game of Thrones watcher knows enough about Stannis yet.
I thought Stannis was just a bloke. It was only at the end where it was like, Stannis, you'll ruin your people, but you'll get power, and then he was like, yeah, I'll do that. And I was like, yeah, I kind of understand Stannis now, but you should have put that in like the 3rd episode.
Yeah, exactly. You should have, because you don't really, I mean, because like some of the people I talk, because I'm sad, so I try and work out what people's opinions of these characters are already, and it was like quite a few people just seem to judge Stannis as an asshole, because all they really know is that he wants to be king. He doesn't really do anything until the end, and then he runs away. But in the book, and if they'd done it properly, then there is a whole like several chapters dedicated to this whole process.
Yeah, well, he only seemed to become grey in the last episode where he was like having his doubts, and I was like, oh, now he's interesting.
Well, he did. We can spoil season 2. He did kill his brother. I mean, but ish.
He did with Shadow Baby.
Shadow Baby.
Shadow Baby.
Did you not? Do you not like Shadow Baby?
I don't really have any strong opinions about Shadow Baby. I'm so confused. It's sort of like if someone sort of just came into my room now and shat on the floor, I wouldn't be angry. I wouldn't know what to say. I sort of go to sleep. I wouldn't really do anything.
That's weird. I hadn't even thought. I'd completely forgotten that Shadow Baby.
Does Shadow Baby turn up again? Is it explained, or is it just?
Well, Shadow Baby, interestingly enough, in the book turns up twice. So,
good.
in quick succession, like in Clash of Kings, and that makes the whole. And they explain the process of which Shadow Baby is made and works.
Okay. Because my process is that if a guy called Stannis fucks a redhead who's magic and she has a baby in a cave, then it's Shadow Baby.
That's
the process. As far as I can work it out.
This is why they needed at least 5 more episodes to illustrate why Shadow Baby isn't retarded.
Okay, good.
Well, if nothing else, take it as magic is returning to the world. But no, there is a reason behind Shadow Baby, and hopefully it'll be explained somewhere in season 3. Maybe.
That would be nice.
Yeah, maybe just. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry about that.
Then again, I mean, like I got over the polar bear and Lost, so I'll get over Shadow Baby.
True. Well, have you seen
one character that doesn't make any sense?
Have you seen any of the trailers for season 3?
I saw the teaser trailer of the crow flying around.
What, New York or whatever?
Yeah, New York. Which makes no sense. You could do that, like, because it said, our worlds will collide. You could do that with any show. You could have, like, fucking Simpsons and...
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica. You could have the Battlestar flying about, like, Tokyo and going, our worlds will collide. Yeah, because your show's on my TV. So I guess technically they collide really slowly at an allotted time on Friday.
Exactly. It makes no sense, but... I mean, the actual trailers where they show footage and things.
It's too quick. It's like so boom, boom, doo-doo. Somebody saying something quite cool. Like it goes doo-doo. Like
I see. Well,
I don't really get much from them.
Well, I think that's because they worked so well with a small man can cast a large shadow.
Yeah.
And then from there on in, they're like, yeah, definitely just people quoting their buzzwords will work.
Definitely.
But I think some of them are right. Like Stannis has a really nice one where he's like, I want Robb Stark dead. I want Joffrey dead. I want them all dead. And there are some good ones.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm excited.
Good. That's the thing. I don't want people. I've been trying to keep it alive, like people being excited about Game of Thrones still.
I watched all of Prison Break, so I know that I will watch something to the end.
Fair enough. Well, I respect you. / I'm slightly scared of you for that. But that is good. But yeah, Game of Thrones season 3, do watch. If you haven't watched season 1 and 2, do watch
them. Even if you can't find the DVDs, just watch them.
Yeah, they're good. We won't judge you how you watch them.
Don't read the book.
No, maybe read the book. I don't know, because It's a because I'm not going to automatically suggest that people read the book because I understand that it's not for everyone. I mean, I know people who I've given the book to and they haven't enjoyed it, or I think one thing is people don't like to read stuff that they've just watched. Like I've given quite a few people have like seen Game of Thrones. They'd be like, I want to read the book. You give them the book, they're like, oh, I got bored because I already know what happens.
Yeah,
but equally, you can't give them book free. Because, someone like Benedict Dondarrion's going to turn up and they're going to be like, who the hell's this guy?
I usually like to read the book after I've seen, like, the big, like, sort of film or TV version, because the book will always be better for the most part, because it's got more stuff. And, so, because not if it's a shit book, but if it's been considered a good book. So I don't like to go in saying, oh, why did they leave that out? Fuck that. I like to...
well, in that case,
get the full picture afterwards.
Why not just read 1 and 2 and soon to be 3.5?
I will, but I got so much other books to read. I would read it if I wasn't reading 8 other books.
Well, okay,
that's my one reason.
You're forgiven. So what your recommendation?
Can read the books because he's never read a book in his life. I've got to read loads of books.
So your recommendation for Game of Thrones is read them if you're not reading 8 other books.
Yes.
And mine is probably just read up to the point of which the season is at. Yeah. And if you're then so enthralled that you want to read on like I was, then do it. But I don't know. I think at this point enough time has elapsed.
Yeah, I do like when people say spoilers and you're like, it has been 1996.
Yeah, exactly. I think enough time has kind of gone by for people to read 1 again, because season 1 came out like 2 years ago.
I know people who are like, I mean, my girlfriend, she hasn't read the 7th Harry Potter book, and I ruined a bit of it. She said, "Don't tell me." I just said, "It came out ages ago. Please read it, because it's not even that good." That's never a good one to say to someone either.
Well, it's not even that good.
Never say it's not even that good, because that is a spoiler technically.
True. Well, but then again, your opinion isn't law. So
yeah, that's true.
She might enjoy it, but no, I agree. I mean, if you respect someone's opinion and they tell you it's bad, it was like I think I was reading The Road. Well, I wasn't enjoying The Road, then someone told me it ended terribly, and I was like, well, I'm not interested.
What, the book?
Yeah.
Did you not get to the end of it?
No, I did. I don't like The Road though.
I've seen the film.
What, the Viggo Mortensen one?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
That is one of my favorite films ever, and I agree with you about the book.
Fair enough. Well,
the book is weird because it's like very basically written, and I think the film counteracts that by having like the tension and sort of everything being grim and the lovely music, and it's sort of everything feels kind of like The Drive. I didn't actually really like the way they talked in Drive, but it's got that sort of like you're walking around the like wasteland with nothing much to say, so you just sort of say basic observatory things like, oh, look over there, because you don't really have any interest anymore. You're sort of dead inside, which I don't think the book captures because there's just too much of. It's like spending a lot of time with a boring person, whereas the film is spending 2 hours with boring people who you can kind of see why they're boring.
Fair enough.
The film works better, but the film's great. You should watch the film.
I'll have to watch the film. Fair enough. I think that was a slight detour, but no, I liked that. That's good. It's good. I mean, that's interesting. And you mentioned Drive, which I want to talk about at some point, but probably not now.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't think it quite fits into any one category.
It was quite a long time ago.
That's the thing. I really want to write an article about Drive as well. I don't know. Anyway.
I think we would disagree a bit on Drive.
Do you? I think I like it a lot more than most people, though.
I think you do.
I'm fucking obsessed with Drive at the moment.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. It's something. I don't know. Everyone deals with things different ways. Drive is apparently mine.
We deal with grief in different ways. We deal with Drive in different ways.
Exactly. Well, I know Drive is the one film that's ever because I don't drive, etc. Drive is is the only film that's ever made me want to drive.
Okay.
Like short of any other film. This is not going in the podcast.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so we've trawled through kind of basically what was announced this week in video games, TV shows, films, and
we've criticised some people. We've complimented some people.
We've confused Kevin Levine multiple times with other industry men dealing with women,
and I think we've tackled sexism
briefly.
I think we've fixed it.
We solved it. I mean, misogynists and misandrists everywhere can now lay down their arms and embrace each other lovingly.
Exactly, but men have got to do it first. Because if there's anything I hate women making the first move. Because I love making the first move. It's really fun.
See, now I've never made the first move. I've always been the reciprocator.
I actually can't remember whether or not I just sort of end up talking bollocks.
And I think we've just reignited misogyny, but we'll solve it again in a fortnight's time. So
goodbye,
until
everyone.
then,
we'll play Bioshock Infinite by then, and I can say how great apparently it is. Even
maybe
though
Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, even though Bioshock 1 was a bit overrated, but bye.
And I'll have played even more Hotline Miami. Until then, goodbye.